Woo, buddy, was this a hell of a read? What is good, everybody? What is crack-a-lackin'? What's the haps on the craps? It is your boy, a comic book novice, aka Contralad. Today we're gonna talk about this baby right here. And what a hell of a read it was, man. This book was nuts. I really honestly don't even know where to begin. But I guess we'll just start with saying that other than the current ongoing Batman, like the main title, which I only started at the beginning of Fear State, actually, I believe it was issue 112. Other than that, this was the first like deep dive into Batman that I have done. By deep dive, I mean just like reading a big chunk of material at one go. Before this, it had just been like the issues of Batman that were out up until the time that I got this, and I had read year one before reading this. But other than that, this is it, man. This is my Batman experience so far, and what a hell of an experience it was. After reading this, man, getting through this whole book, I believe it took me about like 2 to 3 weeks to get through this whole thing. Only because I wasn't reading every day, life, work, all that stuff. But this book has, first of all, quickly made Greg Capullo one of my favorite artists that I have seen since starting my journey into comics and everything. Like his, I'll put up some examples of what I'm talking about right here. But as you can see, man, like this guy's style, I'm really digging it. Like other than Jim Lee, who's Batman Hush. Actually, no, we're taking that back. Batman Hush. I read, that was like the first thing I read. I almost forgot about that. So Batman Hush, year one, and the current main title, then this. But other than Jim Lee, man, Greg Capullo is probably like one of my favorite artists. I think like my top three right now that I'd have to say would be Jim Lee, Greg Capullo, and Yasmin Putri, who does Dark Knights of Steel. But yeah, man, the art in this book is just phenomenal. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. The stories in this book are just amazing. Like the first time I've been exposed to like some of the most iconic stories that I hear about from Batman, like the Court of Owls, Death of the Family, 0 Year. It's all phenomenal. I really don't have a complaint about this book, which is rare. I really enjoyed it beginning to end. The beginning with the Court of Owls, how it starts and everything. You get a different look into Gotham City than what I have ever been exposed to, for sure. I'm not going to get into spoilers in this first part. I will put a spoiler warning up when I do get into that part. But this first part, just going to be me gushing about the art and the story. Like, Scott Snyder's writing is phenomenal. I mean, if you've been into comics for any amount of time, you probably already know that. But this is for the novices, man. Like, if you don't know, if you see something with Scott Snyder's name on it, it's probably going to be a good story from my experience. But of course, this is my only experience with it, but it was a hell of an experience, man. Look, it's a chunk of content for sure. This is a whammy boy. But of the stories that are in this book, I definitely dug 0 Year the most. I think like the Court of Owls was really sick because I do dig all the the type of story like secret societies, like stuff like that. I really dig that type of storytelling, or when there is that element inside the story. So the Court of Owls really hooked me. It got me. It's good that they put that in the beginning for me, because had they put Death of the Family or 0 Year at the beginning, Um, I'm pretty sure this is like the way the stories are laid out in this book is how they came out in singles. I believe I could be wrong about that, but quarter owls being in the beginning really hooked me because that is a really dope element of storytelling that I like. Um, like when you see like just like the elements of the Court of Owls, like who's behind the scenes, like pulling strings and doing stuff, and the Talon and his whole shtick, and Bruce dealing with like what he's got to deal with as Bruce Wayne, as well as what he's doing as Batman. It really hooked me and got me into like. Usually I'm bad with books. Usually I start a book and then I'm just like, yeah, I like this book, but then like I'll see another book and I'm like, I want to start that too, and then like I never finish any of them. But with that, it really hooked me. It kept me invested and made me just like this was the only book I was reading, other than like my weeklies that were I was getting as they were coming out. Um, so the Court of Owls, we got through that. Then we got into Death of the Family, which was really my first exposure to Joker in the comics as well. And like it was amazing, man. Like I can see, like I already knew why he was such a beloved character and so important to some people. But before this, my main exposure to Joker had been from the movies, mainly the Heath Ledger Joker when that came out, and then the Joaquin Phoenix, and then I had watched like the old stuff with like Jack Nicholson, but like that was back from like when I was a kid. I haven't watched those movies in it's been some time. But after that, we got into Zero Year, which kind of like you can like by the name you can tell like it's kind of like revamping Batman's origin story, like telling you like what he was up to like in the beginning, and I really dug that, like everything with the Riddler, like shout out to Jim Carrey, love it. I kind of wish he was coming back for the Batman movie, but you know that's neither here nor there. Um, it's really like if you like suspense, man, if you like action, if you like there's a little bit of comedy in here at some parts. This book really has it all, in my opinion. Like you really can't go wrong. Like Scott Snyder's an amazing writer. Greg Capullo is a hell of an artist, and I really can't praise enough like all the people's work and effort that went into this story. James Tynion, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo. Those are the three names that I know right now. Like I know there was many colorists and letterists that worked on this book, but yeah, this is. I know I'm gushing right now, but like this has become like my favorite thing that I've read so far, man. Like it's really amazing. From a novice standpoint, if you're just trying to get into Batman, you cannot go wrong with this. Like I knew virtually nothing about the New 52 run of Batman other than what I had read in Flashpoint before this, and that's really all I can. The only thing I can suggest, like if you want to, you should read Flashpoint before this. But if not, you really don't. In my opinion, don't really miss out on anything. So from a novice grade, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10, man. Like you can't go wrong if you're trying to jump into the Batman story from this point. It's not gonna steer you wrong, man. This book will treat you right. So now we're gonna move on to the spoilers section. And oh, buddy, let's see, where do I begin? The Court of Owls. First off, I put this in the Discord chat as I was reading that part of the book. But am I the only one? Like maybe Hush, like put this into my head. But I was actually like, it was even before this, like in storytelling in general, but like especially in Batman. Am I the only one who thinks like if a new character is introduced to Bruce Wayne, like while he's out like in public and shit, like if a new character is introduced to him and he's trying to be a friend to Bruce, am I the only one that thinks like, okay, this guy's probably up to something. He's probably the villain, or he's doing something that he shouldn't be doing. Because I thought it in Hush, I thought it here in the Court of Owls, and I was right both times. So, I mean, I guess it's never been confirmed in Hush, as far as I know, that Tommy I'm pretty sure his name was Hush. But like, I mean, we all know it's 99.9%. Everybody knows. But the whole thing with like Bruce's parents at the like back in their day, like what they did with the children's hospital, and how the Talon and like the dude, I'm blanking his name right now, but turned out to be Bruce's brother, like Thomas Wayne Jr., and he was locked in uh, that hospital and stuff, and then the Court of Owls came and got him, told him like, hey, your brother doesn't give a shit about you. He knows you're here. He doesn't care. Like, that's that. Like, come with us. We'll take care of you. We'll train you up. Wild. Like, that's a crazy element, and I'm not sure if that's like legit, because like I believe in the story, like they say like they can't prove that, but yeah, man, that's crazy to me. Like, if that turns out it's legit, like that's like what does Bruce do? Because like I don't believe, like I don't think that's the end of the Court of Owls, is it? Like I think that in later on they come back like in the New 52 run. I could be wrong, but that was the end fight with between Batman and Talon. Like when Talon's kind of got like the freaking Iron Man suit, like what the Owlman suit, and he's like flying around like just like smashing Bruce up. Like I was thinking like obviously he wins or like he doesn't die, but I was thinking like, damn, Batman, how you gonna get out of this one? What you gonna do? But it was a great way to hook me, for sure. And then we got into Death of the Family, and that really freaking blew my mind. Like, freaking Joker, man. Like the way he does things, like he's so smart and like so well connected and so good at manipulating people. Like the way he like with the scene, like the only part that Harley Quinn is in this book, when Joker comes back and he just like tells her like, hey, sorry Harley, you're gonna have to cut your face off for me. Them's the breaks, kid. And she's like, oh, well, you still think I'm beautiful if I don't have my face? And he's like, when did I ever say I thought you were beautiful? I was like, oh my goodness, like damn, Joker cold on him. Got that from your boy. Put it in the comments if you know what that reference is from. But like then like he gets Alfred, and then like he ends up gassing the whole Bat family, and they start going at each other, and then like the whole showdown on like the Ace Chemical, like it was friggin' blowing my mind, man. And then like after the fact, like after the whole story goes down, like we're doing light spoilers. I'm not gonna spoil everything for you right here, so. But, excuse me, after the fact, when Bruce talks about how he went to Arkham and saw Joker, like, and pretty much, like, revealed himself to Joker, and Joker just didn't give a fuck, like, that's crazy to me, because, like, he's just, like, Joker don't care about Bruce Wayne, in this part of the story, like, he don't give a shit. He's just like, hey, man, we're two combatants in the same game, like, and I don't give a fuck who you are when you're not playing the game with me. When we're in the game, I'm gonna get your ass, and if I don't get your ass, I'm certainly gonna make you suffer enough to make you think that I got your ass, and you're gonna be thinking about me far after the time that I'm out the main picture. It's crazy. You can really see how their relationship forges each other's like personality, their way of thinking, like the way they go about things, like even when they're not really dealing with each other, like you can tell Batman is like taking the lessons he learns from the Joker and like implements them in other ways, like against other people, and it's crazy. The one, actually, I can say the one gripe I did have with this book is it kind of spoiled something for me, but I mean I guess it's like that kind of the case where like if you haven't read it or watched it, experienced it by this amount of time that this material's been out, it's really on you for anything that you get spoiled on. Like if someone hadn't watched Endgame at this point and they're complaining about spoilers, like I'd be like, shut the fuck up. But in here, like you kind of learn about Damian dying, I think, and I had never heard about that before. The part in this book where Bruce is all depressed about Damian dying. I believe like in the variant cover gallery, we even get like there's even a. Let's see if I can find it real quick. There's even a variant cover that was in here that shows Batman like mourning a little bit. Let's see. It should be here in the bag. Right here. Right there. Like he's all broken up, sad bat about Damian, and like I didn't know that happened. Like, is he dead? Like, and I know he's alive now, like in the comics that are going on right now because of the Robin series. So like I don't really know what happens there. So like I'm gonna have to figure out where that happens so I can go read that. But that would probably be my only gripe about this, and like that's really on me. It's not on them. But to get past that, and we get on to 0 Year. I'm really only hitting like the main bullet points of the story. But 0 Year was fantastic. Like I had obviously heard of the Red Hood gang before, just because it's like who hasn't? Like if you're into comics and if you're into Batman, but like I never knew like the whole origin and everything. And like this doesn't have to do with this part of the story, but I knew the Red Hood as Jason Todd. And honestly, I didn't even know that from the comics. I knew that from the Arkham games, from Arkham Knight, especially. And I knew he was the Red Hood, and I knew what happened from Joker getting his hands on Jason and what he does to him. And I didn't know that the Red Hood gang was like a thing before that. I always thought that was just like Jason Todd's like crew or something. But this, you get in 0 Year, you really get into it. Like you see all the different the Red Hoods. Like they got 1 to like Red Hood 1000 or something, and like turns out like shit. I don't know if I should say this because that is a major spoiler, but you know what? We gave a spoiler warning. Turns out that Joker was Red Hood 1, and like they show, because like I didn't know that. Like, and I was guessing that towards the end, but in Death of the Family, when Bruce talks about like, oh, it's we're gonna have to fight where our first fight happened, Ace Chemicals, like when he fell into the vat of the stuff that turned him into the Joker, that's where this whole fight's gonna go down, and then you see that happen in 0 Year, which is dope as hell. Like, cause like I was thinking like the whole time I was reading it, I was like, this dude is giving me kind of Joker vibes. Like, who the fuck is this guy? And like you never see his face. Obviously, you never see like any of their faces, I believe, until like they end up dying. Like if one of them dies, like with Bruce's uncle, Philip Kane, and his whole part of the Red Hood gang, and like. They're all getting like more often than not they're getting forced to be into the gang, and like that just shows you like how like clinical Joker is with his shit. Like he'll get you. Like if he wants you, he gonna get you. And then you see like his whole dilemma of like dealing with the Riddler, and also having to deal with freaking the Red Hoods, and like the spot he's placed in, like where I honestly thought, I was like, oh, here we go again. Here's another case of like the evil uncle or the evil cousin, family member, whatever, what have you, trying to come for the crown. But that didn't end up being the case, really. Like he definitely surprised me with the way that he went about that. Like Riddler told him straight up, like, you got to kill your nephew, you got to kill Bruce. And he was like, no, fuck that. That's fam. Nothing stronger than family. That like, then like we get past that. You see their first fight at Ace Chemicals. You see him fall into the thing. And like I honestly guessed it 2 pages before you actually see him fall into the vat. Like I even sent to the Discord, I was like, I feel like I have an idea who Red Hood 1 is. And then like I sent like 10 minutes later, yeah, I was right. Yeah, man, that was crazy. And then you get onto the whole Riddler thing, how he really like puts the kibosh on freaking Gotham City. And that whole part of the book was like, I couldn't put it down. Like, honestly, finished it last night, and I was like just getting started into the Riddler stuff like earlier in the day yesterday. And I was just like, okay, man, I have to do some stuff. I gotta go places. But when I get back home, rest of the night, I'm finishing this. Like, no matter what, this is getting finished tonight. Because it was like I was watching a movie, man. Like, I like the suspense, like just from like reading something. Like I've had that before, like in novels and stuff, but never has like a comic book gripped me to the point where I was like, shit, what's happening next? Keep going. Like I was tired, but I was like, push through, dog. We can't stop now. But then like you see, like with the whole like the jets are coming, they're gonna drop bombs on them, and Riddler's just cool with it. And but then Bruce pulls one out of his ass and ends up saving the day just like he does. And it was phenomenal, man. It was a great story. I cannot wait to get my hands on volume 2. It's probably gonna be a little bit of time because I do have a lot of stuff to get read. I got 3 omnis, who knows how many trades, compendiums to read, but like we're gonna get there eventually. But as final verdict, man, I'm gonna give the same verdict I gave for the novice grade. I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10, man. Like, you can't go wrong with this story. I know some people say that the New 52 ain't it, Chief, but I'm gonna have to side with Mad Dog, man. The New 52, my jam so far. Yeah. So, stories, 10 out of 10. Art, 10 out of 10. The whole concept of this book, like the way it grips ya, it's phenomenal, man. Like, I can't suggest this book enough. I loved it. But what did you guys think about this book? What do you guys think about the whole New 52 run as a whole? Let me know, like, does the Court of Owls come back in later stages of this run? Like, what should I be looking forward to? Is there things that you recommend that I read before I get volume 2? Where does that Damien stuff happen? Let me know in the comments, man. But yeah, man, that's gonna be it for me. Like, we got a lot of stuff coming on the channel. Subscribe, like, put that notification on, all that YouTube stuff. Go over to Culturology, subscribe to that. We got a new episode dropping this Friday. If you didn't check out the last one, that is up there. It's all about Marvel, DC, the MCU, all that good stuff. This next one's going to be a little bit different because the Culturology is not all about comics, but comics is in there. And be looking out this week for a few more videos. Like, I know I've been all over the place with my uploading. I'm still trying to get myself on some kind of upload schedule. But you know, the holidays, man, grind is real. Gotta buy all these presents for people and all that. But that's it for me. It is your boy, a comic book novice, aka Contralet, aka your mom's favorite DJ. I'm out of here.